Well, over the past few years, there have been community concern about the future of the Cineplex Queensway site and speculation that the theatre may be closing. While new condominium towers have already risen around that theatre in that parking lot, Cineplex is now confirming this neighborhood landmark isn't going anywhere. So in fact, a new banner installed outside the theatre promises, quote, no end credits in sight, your neighborhood theatre for many years to come. So joining us live this morning with more on this is Kevin Watts, Executive Vice President, National Operations at Cineplex. Kevin, appreciate you joining us here this morning. The step that you've taken to sort of reassure people about the lack of end credits, as you're calling it, aka the closure of the theatre, what has all of this been about? Why do you need to make this message so public to people?
Good morning. Yeah, we just had a lot of questions, and we've been talking with people in the community, and they've been asking us what's going on with the theater, and our staff are wondering about where what's happening with the theater in the long term. And that's really why we felt it was important. We made these messages to people. We've been communicating, but we really needed to do something on a broader basis. So putting up these banners was a really important step for us to assure people that we are going to be there for the long term, and we're very happy and proud to be operating in the community.
Yeah, and I also understand, Kevin, that there's sort of a bit of an offer happening for not just residents. I mean, anybody could go to this over the weekend here, kind of like maybe trying to lure people back in who maybe think, oh, maybe the future's a bit uncertain.
Actually, we're doing this on a national basis, so we're offering $5 for general movie tickets plus tax on this Saturday and Sunday, and also $5 small popcorns. This is at our Queensway location, but as I said, at all of our locations across the country. It's just a way for people to come and enjoy the movies one last time before the summer ends.
Okay, all right. I didn't realize that was actually a national thing, Kevin. Appreciate you clarifying that for us. So going back to just the Cineplex complex there along the Queensway, do you, Cineplex, own that property or do you rent that? I mean, we see Toronto, Toronto seems to be moving up development, et cetera, and we've seen those towers on the property already. Is that something that you can actually control for the long term, or are you at the whim of a developer who may own that property as well?
Cineplex does not own that property, but we do have a really good relationship with our landlord at that location, as we do with all of our locations. And so we do have a long-term lease that's in place with some options that allow us to renew for the longer term. So that's why, again, we wanted to really make sure that everyone recognized and heard from us that we are going to be there for the long term.
And Kevin, of course, we know, in the pandemic, how hard your industry was hit, based on people not going back. But there have been several blockbusters this summer. Last summer was the whole Barbenheimer situation. What is the kind of current, state of affairs in your industry in terms of, people going back to theaters? I know streaming has kind of crept into your wallet, as it were. What's the situation now?
People have always wanted to get out of the house and, come out and have a shared experience. And so what we are seeing is that we are seeing a lot of product being available to us in the theaters and more people coming back. And so we're really feeling, good about the summer. And we've got a strong lineup of films that come through the fall and the holiday season. So again, really excited about the films that are coming and the the public reaction to those films.
Yeah, that community, Kevin, I know really is attached to that theater in that area. Some of the people who work here talk about, I've been going to that theater, they say, for, 20, I guess they could be going up to about 24 years at this point. There is that connection people have with their local theater.
Yeah, a movie theater is a great part of the community, and people, for a long time have always wanted to find ways to get together and hear stories. And the movie theater is a great place to do that. And it's an interesting experience because it's a shared experience with strangers in a dark room. And people get to share those things together and have that communal experience. And I think that, to your point, is really why movie theaters are a great part of any community.
All right, that is Kevin Watts, Executive Vice President, National Operations at Cineplex, joining us live here this morning. Kevin, thanks for the time today. Appreciate this.
Thank you.